Welcome in everybody to the final day of the regular DP season for Eastern Europe. And hurry, we have two series today. At the opposite ends of the table, we already know that Nemiga is down, but NAVI, they're in with a chance to hit tiebreakers here. They need to win that one. Well, I mean, I think they're going to be playing tiebreakers either way to see if it's a 7th or 8th finish or if they can get into the survival tiebreakers. NAVI ends of the table. We already know that Nemiga is down. But Navi, they're in with a chance to hit tiebreakers here. They need to win that one. Well, I mean, I think they're going to be playing tiebreakers either way to see if it's a 7th or 8th finish or if they can get into the survival tiebreakers. Navi, it's in their hands, really, this to get to tiebreakers. But Nemiga, already down. Do you think, how are they going to be coming into this final series?
Ooh, it's tough to say, but I personally would like for them to go all in, right? It's your pride on the line. It's no longer your life here. You shouldn't feel any pressure, but at least you want to get out of it with one win. Navi haven't been looking the greatest. Nemiga haven't been looking the greatest. So at least you can prove like we are not the worst in the division. There is someone that we can beat. Finishing off 0-7, it's gonna be a hit to their morale.
Yeah. And
no longer your life here. You shouldn't feel any pressure, but at least you want to get out of it with one win. Navi haven't been looking the greatest. Nemiga haven't been looking the greatest. So at least you can prove like we are not the worst in the division. There is someone that we can beat. Finishing off 0-7, it's gonna be a hit to their morale.
Yeah. And again, if Nemiga do win, the tiebreaker system is going to be between Darkside and One Move for placement, and then Navi and Nemiga for placement. If Navi win, it is going to be best of one tiebreakers until we get a tiebreak between Darkside, One Move, and Navi to see who the final team to go down is. And you've got to think that out of those three teams, One Move must be the most confident, right? They've been on a great run in the past couple of series. They've already beat Darkside. They've taken down Navi, so they're in the position where you would think they would be the ones you'd expect to stay up, and then the other two to battle between themselves.
Could be the case. I think if Navi does go through, even though or comes to that tiebreaker, even though they won against One Move, they're definitely gonna be the underdogs between One Move and Darkside. I don't really know who's going to be better. Darkside should have more experience on their side, so playing best of ones might benefit them, but you never know. It might just be new kids on the block. They're all hyped up and they crush you in a best of one. You don't see it coming. So overall, I think Navi has an arduous road ahead if they are to stay in Division 1, right? It's very unlikely that they'll be able to do it with the type of gameplay that they've showed thus far in the DPC, especially now in the last 2 weeks. In the first week, if we remember, they did beat One Move, but after that, they're and they did take some games as well off of Darkside, off of Team Spirit. After that, Navi have just been looking very, very bad, or not as good as they were in week 1.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have delivered. Like say, as Darkside have kind of well, they've not faltered, but they kind of started off on form, and they've kind of dropped off towards the end. One Move, they've started to pick themselves back up, get themselves in with the quality. And Navi, like you say, just don't seem to be at the races recently. Nemiga, they have the Ricky Ban, the Pugna Ban. Pugna's a strange one. Is it something that Navi have been playing?
Played it once, or was it Nemiga that played it once? Yeah, it isn't something that either of the teams played often. That's what I'm gonna say, but I think Nemiga did play it. I remember one Pugna of theirs for sure, but it is yeah, Nemiga did play the Pugna. They lost against the Virtus Pro. That's the only one that I personally have casted. And Navi, I'm not seeing any Pugnas currently, so a weird one for sure. And they go for the Treant Protector. I expected maybe a Tusk early on. Navi are slow. Nemiga, they know how to play fast. You go for the Tusk, you go for what previously worked for you. But they're gonna slow things down themselves with the Treant.
Yeah, I wonder if Navi are gonna pick up the Lina here as well, or do they give it over to Nemiga for that Treant Lina combination in the safe lane? Because again, Hero, I mean, it's only running like a 50% win rate. It comes out. It's not a massively impressive win rate in the Eastern European region, but the top teams are playing it and using it effectively. So Navi, they do want to have their turn here with that Lina.
Get a clock, please. Please pick a clock. If they don't pick a clock,
10 seconds.
First of all, it goes really well with the Lina. Second of all, it goes really good against the Treant because you can
5
dive.
seconds
And
remaining.
third, it's a great hero against the Lina, so it's a good deny pick. It's only if you think that a support duo of a Treant and a clock is not that great, and there is a argument for it, and yeah, they pick it up. That is definitely the best pick I would see with the Lina, considering that it's also a deny pick from the enemies. I think now a sniper for Nemiga does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and like you say, just being able to
10
have that body
seconds
blocker
remaining.
of the hero, you know, if you do get dove on as the Lina,
Dire
or
team
even if you don't, you mean the cogs are going to be a great setup. We all know my thoughts on this hero, so we'll move swiftly on.
Navi's
No,
turn to
this
bat.
Batrider pick, I suppose it is going to be nice to get on top of the Lina, but again, if you have that clockwork that can counter dive with the hook, he's got the cogs to keep and the battery salt as well, to keep the lockdown going. How do Nemiga want to play around with this Batrider?
It depends. Well, you know, Bat is not an easy hero to kind of predict how the game will
10
go for him.
seconds
Because if
remaining.
this hero starts snowballing, you're always on the aggressive. But if you start falling behind, then you're always in the jungle. And there are these half-half games as well. So ideally, of course, you want to be running over the Lina and diving her. But realistically, that does not happen too often. So, you know, we don't even know if it's going to be Vazia or Malrine playing it. I think both of them can pick up the hero. So it's gonna need some time for us to, in this draft, to decide where Nemiga are putting it, and of course the game to start going in a certain direction for us to predict how they're gonna be using it. But ideally, if it's an off lane, you're going for drums, blink. You know, if it's a mid lane, you're going for the classic travels into a BKB, and you just want to ramp up the tempo.
Yeah, and Silencer Ban, Zeus being taken out as well. So they're taking out a lot of burst-heavy heroes here on the side of Nemiga. Silencer, really good. Again, if the bat jumps in, if you get that quick global silence off, you stop the lasso, you stop the drag back coming out. Can save heroes. And what else do you want to be removing on the side of Navi? Do you want to be taking out, like, they've already taken out the Nature's Prophet. So would you be aiming for the Beastmaster and the Lycan as well, just completely locking out the Zoo here if you're Navi?
I'm not sure. I think with the silencer ban, it's most likely going to be a bat in the off lane, because silencer crushes the bat in the lane. So I'm assuming that Navi are expecting this to be an off lane bat. So maybe you don't need to be banning the Zoo heroes. Of course, there is there is a chance always moving into the mid lane. It doesn't cost them too much, but maybe you can read the game a little bit from this ban right now. Ursa does make sense. It's a great hero against the Lina. Something like a Tusk is also a good hero against the Lina. BKB piercing disables, or heroes that are pretty much certain to get a bash out, or something I would ban. Even the Pango comes to mind as something that Malrine plays.
Yeah, and we'll see what else Nemiga want to be taking away here. Just looking at the lineup coming out from Nemiga, I mean, they've got the Batrider and the tree, so the tree will be able to slow it down a little bit in case that Batrider goes behind. We have seen a couple of bat recoveries, but, you know, Nemiga, do they want to be playing around because we've seen them play around the mid lane a lot. You know, try and play around Malrine, get Malrine active, rotate in a couple of spots, so you get the early power spike, and then get Malrine to move out and look for the rotations. Is that something that you want to be doing, keeping the pressure on Navi, especially when the Lina gets picked up like this? Do you just want to be constantly saying, shut that hero down, shut that hero down? Is that a way you stop the Lina from getting so powerful?
But it's more so rotating towards her. So you get a mid laner that can rotate towards the Lina, that can push her out of the lane. If the Lina is allowed to stay in a lane for a very long time, just let's say she gets a Maelstrom in the lane, that means that you have screwed yourself up quite a lot, because then when she enters the jungle, creeps die super fast. So you want to try to push her out of the lane a little bit earlier, and you know, any mid hero that rotates, Pango, Tusk, something that Malrine likes to play, can do well. Even the bat if they put it in the mid lane. So I don't think they're gonna be playing much around the mid lane, maybe just to give a little bit of an advantage to Malrine, especially because you have a Treant. This is not the greatest of rotating heroes, even though we've seen him surprise the enemies a couple of times in the DPC so far, and does rotate to the mid lane. It is not something that the hero just loves to do.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look yesterday. Did we see Nemiga? They played the Primal Beast twice. And they were Malrine Primal Beast, right? So is that another hero that you'd look at here and think, especially with the Batrider coming out, it has that early rotation potential with the onslaught and the trample that it seems to want to max, and the pulverize as well, just being able to stop Lina from being able to get away.
The Primal Beast can be a good hero against the Lina. That is true. But when you see a Hoodwink and the Clockwork, they're actually really good heroes to deal with him.
Yeah.
He actually likes going into the trees, so there you can connect the Bushwhack easily. The Cogs, the Battery Assault are spells that really do hurt the hero. So yeah, they won't go for that one, but they're gonna go for the CK and the Disruptor. This to me screams we are gonna run at you and we're gonna do it super hard. Plus, when you look at the heroes of Navi, they're very susceptible to heavy physical damage, so the CK makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and is this then going to be, with the Disruptor coming out, do you put that in the position 4 or the position 5?
5 seconds remaining.
Probably 5, considering that it's a Treant. It might be a Treant bat lane, and then we have a CK Disruptor. CK likes to have a hero that's not necessarily, you know, constant output of a little amount of damage, but rather someone that can do a bit more, right? Because you get heroes low enough with your stuns, and if there's someone to keep them in place, you will kill them. Treant, he just pokes, you know, you keep the enemies at half HP and they're scared. Disruptor, Thunderstrike is actually a very, very strong spell in terms of damage, and then when you add up a CK there, it would make much more sense to the CK lanes with the Disruptor.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and Primal Beast coming up from the side of Navi, so that's going to be another hero that can get on top of the bat if he tries to get himself away. Before the BKB does come out, you know, the chase down potential coming up from the Primal Beast and that onslaught, it's a gap. It's one of the most effective gap closers in the game at the minute, I think, because you can just pop out of the trees, like you say, from nowhere, get yourself on top of the hero. All of a sudden, the trample starts to come out, or the pulverize starts to come out, and if it is a low HP hero like the, I suppose you can get glimpse back, but how much can you get off before the glimpse comes out, really?
Oh, you can do it quite a lot. You have a couple of initiators, you have a lot of burst. Navi's lineup makes a lot of sense because you have vision. You have a hero that farms, and the other 3 are very good at murdering people. One has ultimate like burst potential with a sharpshooter, and the other 2 actually do massive amounts of damage, especially the Primal Beast. So their lineup makes a lot of sense. This is what they want to do. They want to be the ones to start the fight and blow up a hero. This can sometimes backfire, but overall on paper, it's a really good draft.
Yeah, and so you're looking at Navi's lineup, you know, they've got that Carolina. I assume it's going to be, I mean, do you flex this, or do you put this on Nicky Cool here for the Primal Beast?
He has been the one playing the Primal Beast as far as I know. We saw it even yesterday. It was Nicky Cool playing it, so I'm assuming that that's going to be the case again.
Okay, so potential offlaner here for Nemiga to go with potential mid laner to go with the Nemiga's lineup, and Navi looking for that offlaner. What do you like in the offlane up against the CK? You know, is there any heroes that you've seen that deal well with the hero in the lane?
Let's see. You have a Tidehunter would make a lot of sense here for Navi. I think that's the one that you should be banning out. LC was also a very good one, but the Tidal makes a lot of sense. Something that deals with illusions, something that can stun the illusions. It doesn't care for the bat, doesn't care much about the overgrowth, but they ban out the Beastmaster. Tide is pretty solid for Navi. The only problem that the Tide would be is maybe you start lacking damage. But considering that Navi are fine with slowing down the game, you're okay with going for pick off back, and then later on in the game, it's going to be the Lina that does the damage.
10 seconds remaining.
Navi as well. They're looking for this final ban. So what is left that they could bring out in the mid lane? Because they do have a lot of decent mid lanes, especially Mallory that he wants to play. I mean, I was just about to mention the Tusk, that hasn't been touched just yet. But yeah, so you do take out the heroes that he likes to play, like the Timbersaw, like the Tusk. The Pango's gone there as well. From the other side, Nemiga, they've already taken out the Zeus, which does flex between that support and the mid lane. So Nemiga, what's left that Mallory might want to play?
Remaining.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for Mallory, really, because he plays a certain type of hero, and I don't see any of those that are left.
Mid lane techies.
Okay, so we are gonna prevent Rob from giving us any more suggestions.
I'm just gonna say I had a mid lane snapfire. Okay. Yeah, I had a mid lane techies in one of my games the other day, and I think in the first 7 or 8 minutes it went 14-2. So, you know, I'm never gonna rule that hero out. Just because, you know, in my trash tier pubs, it is effective.
It's a solid, Sapphire is solid here. I just don't, I would rather want to see an offlane bat really in this game, because Snapfire does really well against the Primal Beast. Like, really well against any melee hero. So you do massive amounts of damage. I think Tide still is here, the top one for me.
It's gonna be the Lash. So off-lane Primal Beast.
Yep, that's gonna be the case.
Okay.
I think when they saw the Snapfire, they kind of got afraid of a possible Snapfire versus the Primal Beast, and maybe they switched it up. And Nemiga are gonna switch it up as well. I mean, in terms of lane-to-lane matchup, Bat can be much better against the Lesh than a Snapfire will. Snapfire, you know how the lane will go. With the Bat, there is a potential that you outplay your opponent and actually win the lane heavily. So I think that's what Nemiga are gunning for here, because it is going to be an off-lane snap.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I've said before, I don't like the Bat as a hero. You know, I think it's going to be easy if Nicky Cool sees the aggression coming out from Malrine. He pops that lightning for the slow, tries to get the split earth off, and just backs himself behind the tier 1 tower. And as long as the creeps aren't pushing in, the Firefly isn't going to be mega effective. I think you trade off a lot of damage that they might get back through Vazir in these Mortimer cases, the Scatter Blast coming out, but I think to pick up the Bat Rider here for the control that offers with the lasso, which it's not a short cooldown there either. You just lose so much damage in terms of what you would get from something like a Leshrac in the mid lane, or even something like a Dragon Knight that offers push potential as well as the potential to roam and gank.
It depends if you can snowball. If you can snowball with the Bat, it's going to be fine. If things start going south, it's going to be a problem. It's all about if Malrine can rotate to the Lina lane and actually threaten her life.
Yeah. And so looking at these two drafts, preference?
It's a tough one. They're very even, but I'm gonna say that I prefer the Navi draft. I think they have everything they need to win, and if Nemiga don't manage to get that early aggression on, if they don't start getting ahead and getting those kills, they're gonna be in a lot of trouble in the later portions of the game.
Yeah. But before we get started with the series, we are going to take a quick word from our sponsors over at EGB, so check it out.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system, welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
Welcome back, and yeah, looking at the lineup here from the side of Navi, I'm a little bit more impressed with the damage output coming out from the Lina, you know, coming out from the Lash. Not to say that the CK won't be able to put out damage, but just looking at it, I think if the Lina gets online, it's still going to be hard for the CK to deal with her. So even though you've got that Reality Rift drag back, you know, that goes through spell immunity at level 20, you can get right on top of it. If the Hurricane Pikes start to come out, those Force Staffs as well, the amount of control that's offered around the BKBs, it's still going to be hard to take down this Lina, I think.
For sure, and hopefully we're going to be jumping into the game soon, because what I can see now is that both teams are smoked, and there might be something that's going to happen here at level 1.
Yeah, looks like Navi are going to be close to... I mean, they got a complete wraparound here. Nemiga, they want to go up as well, but Nemiga, are they going to be able to catch out? Because Navi up on the high ground, up on the other side of the high ground as well, and this isn't a region that you do usually go for those wards. So if the side of Nemiga are stepping up to go back towards that boundary, and, you know, maybe think of the Navi are up on the top lane, something like that, they could get caught out here. And Malady, the high five, I think Malrine saw him, yeah, the sticky napalm up onto the high ground. So they are going to see Navi, and now it's going to be a case of musical lanes to get yourself back in position on both teams.
The thing is that Nemiga knew that Navi are going to go and take down those trees. That's why they went for it. Nicky Cool is caught.
Yeah, does he get himself out? The Glimpse comes out there as well. It's a decent amount of damage stacking up, and Nicky Cool, sticky napalm, one more right click, Malrine, he's going to be able to get it, and that gets him towards his bottle there as well.
Oh, that's a disastrous start for Navi. The one thing that you need to be careful of, okay, at least they get a kill themselves, but one thing that you have to be careful of in this game if you're Navi is not to allow the Bat to be super strong. Getting a first blood against your mid laner, it is the worst thing in the world, especially because mid laners usually save up the gold, so you're gonna be losing a little bit of it as well towards your bottle.
Yeah, and Malrine has already got that coming out where you can see that the Lash, it's gonna be a few hundred away. You know, he's going to take it in the next couple of creep waves, but it's not going to be guaranteed, especially if Malrine can get these denies in like this as well. And yeah, at least he did get a kill over onto Vichu and their Vizir getting caught out and killed off. Malady being able to chase him down, do the damage with the Battery Assault, and then the LSA connecting, the right clicks coming through from Vichu as well. And Vizir just taking too much punishment, but You can see that Malady here, he's going to try and get aggressive, but Hellscream with the Leech Seed, it's a bit of a movable object and stoppable force coming through with the Leech Seed and the battery slot between these two heroes.
Again, we talked about it
Radiant's
yesterday,
courier
Rob.
has been
People
killed.
tend to run into the Lina level 1 a lot. You know, even though she's not that powerful, usually she has this very strong support that does offer some kill potential, and that was the clock. So that is, it's not looking the greatest for them. And on the top lane, it's not looking the greatest for Lays.
Yeah, one more right click, so bad picks it up and lays. It's just, he gets caught out, takes a lot of damage. I mean, he traded some off onto the Chaos Knight as well, so he's going to be coming back full health, full mana. But again, when you're in this do-or-die situation, and I guess Nemiga playing with no worries, they can just take risks like this. They can go a little bit more aggressive, and if they trade, you know, if they lose a series, so what? But Na'Vi, they have to be coming into this game a lot more focused, and maybe just a little bit of early nerves here for the Na'Vi side.
Man, there's a lot on the line here for sure. I think this this lineup had a little bit more expectations what's gonna happen. And as we're talking about it now, this is just so good, so bad. He has the glimpse to save himself from the Primal Beast, so he can play on the side. Usually when you have an offlaner like the Primal Beast, let's say something similar would be a Spirit Breaker, you send your support to the side to just fight them, and when the enemy gets low, you just come over with your mobility spell and you kill them, and against the Disruptor that can happen.
Yeah, now the Kinetic Field's going to be going up, and Sweden Strong is going to be going down. Even using the glimpse there on the corpse just to display it in the right proper area. And I think, I was listening, I'm pretty sure it was Trent. And, you know, if it's not, he can correct me at some point. I'm pretty sure Trent was saying between the Thunderstrike and the glimpse, if you get a max glimpse off, which you do when Lays wants to come in with the onslaught, mana for mana at level 1, it's more worth it to get the glimpse off than it is to get the Thunderstrike off.
Yes, that is the that is true. I mean, it's not tough to calculate it. You know, it's 140 Thunderstrike, it's 150 glimpse, so it is.
Yeah, but that's max glimpse though. So, you know, if you get the little glimpses like this, it's not going to be as much. But yeah, max glimpses onto Primal Beast. You know, it's going to be worth.
Most definitely. Most definitely it is gonna be, and of course less mana. That's the main thing.
Bottom lane, we can see that Vazia now, after that first blood, you know, he's having a decent time in terms of farm, but the Lina is going to be top of this, the farm triangle, whatever you want to call it, pyramid, whatever, table. And how do you get in, especially when you've got a melee support, how do you get in on top of this Lina in the lane just to try and shut down this farm?
You don't. This lane is, you have lost it, and now you are waiting for the bat to rotate. If the Lina maybe steps out, maybe they can kill her, but overall that's not gonna happen. You know, speaking of Malrine, he the first couple of waves he didn't do well in CS, but now of course when you are threatening with killing your opponent, then it's much harder for Nicky Cool to really stay in the lane.
Yeah, and both heroes now do have that bottle out. We can see that on the bottom lane as well, there's going to be the rotation because Tree is in deep, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch out Hellscream and nothing else. Yeah, no. Oh, okay, Clockwork's using a couple of tangos, but no Quelling Blades here on the side of Navi to try and cut those trees down effectively. Hellscream's going to be taking some harass, but the Scatterblast comes out, and Malady's going to be slowed down, so the Leech Seed carries on going, and Malady only going to be about half effective and doesn't catch Hellscream in the cogs either. Does trap him in that little corner, has to be pushed away, pushed to the other side of the little pond by the cogs, but yeah, Hellscream is going to be a-okay.
Very rarely you see cogs stunning somebody 3 times in a row. Mid lane, Nicky Cool.
And they do get the kill off, and Malrine solo kill there on top with the 3 points into the sticky napalm, the Firefly on top of as well, and yeah, the lash. Nicky Cool just not able to get the damage. Meanwhile on the bottom lane, Malady's going to be chased down. Leech Seed comes out, Cog, but they trap Hellscream inside, and they do get the kill as V-Tune, he turns around, he gets Hellscream almost immediately afterwards.
But overall, Nemiga are happy with how the lanes are going, especially because of the mid lane kill. You know, even though the Lina is having a good time, the Batrider is having a really good time. And once Malrine starts rotating, that is when you really threaten this Lina. And we can see that they're putting so much emphasis on him, even refilling his bottle. Malrine is the most important part of this Nemiga lineup. So currently, yeah, they're very happy with it. It all starts with the first blood, and when we look at the net worth, really the difference between Malrine and Nicky Cool, it's insane.
Yeah, being able to pick up that first blood, like you say, the extra gold for the bottle, and then just get on with it in the lane, especially because Nicky Cool. Oh, there's going to be the drag back now as well. The flame break into the lasso. Firefly's going. They've got sticky napalm stacked as well. And Nicky Cool, the leech sheet, even going to be taking Nicky Cool. Not going to be able to get himself away from that. Sweet and Strong even rotated in. Do they have the control, though? They don't. Sweet and Strong. He's going to be able to get the TP away.
And there is a regen waiting for Malrine as well on the bottom lane, so it's gonna be perfect. The only thing that you lose during this time is, you know, Vazia is not getting that much farm, but to be frank, this Snapfire is actually having a good time if you compare him to the Primal Beast, who has really been pushed back by the CK.
Can I still be Rob?
Nope.
No. Wayne's World reference? No.
No.
Hurry. Come on, man. Classic.
I apologize.
It's okay. We'll let you off. We can see Laze on the top lane. He's doing all right in terms of net worth. You know, 2.4k net worth. The last hits there as well, 29 to 6. Going for those phase boots so we can get on top and get more value out of the trample. Did actually opt for a point into the uproar there as well. So not going for this build that we've seen over the past few days where it is just 4-4-0 and then a point in the ultimate when it comes up as well.
I think the idea was he saw that he was taking way too much damage from the CK. It's like, I need extra armor. I actually thought he might go for it early on, and usually we see it in the lane, even in the mid lane, though, you know, yesterday that just wasn't the case. But when you find out that you're really taking way too much damage, you need to be able to counteract it somehow.
Yep, rotation going to be coming on in this bottom lane. I mean, Maladi's only level 4, so no hookshot just yet, but they might be able to catch up with the Hoodwink being down here now as well. So there is going to be the gank onto Maladi, but Maladi's going to be coming forward here with a battery assault and a really nice pushback into the cogs. They're going to be able to get the kill onto Hellscream, but the cogs locked down. And now Vazzy needs to run himself away because he was using those Mortimer Kisses to try and get the kill onto Maladi, and Maladi's sacrifice might not be in vain here. The Dragon Slave comes out, that pushback is available, and Vazzy through all of these trees, but Vazzy is going to be able to walk himself away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 3 heroes, they do get the kill onto the Lace.
It was actually 2. Malrine only came there at the end to help with the stacks. So what the Primal Beast was doing was trying to steal the stacks. Not too much avail. He does go down in the end. I'm actually surprised they didn't chase onto Vazia on the bottom lane, considering that they saw that there were 2 heroes already on top of the on the top lane. So I don't know what they were afraid of. Maybe of a Batrider rotation, but that was a dead Snapfire if they continued to chase.
Well, I mean, Vichun probably saw the farm that he was missing. He was like, "Oh, I'm the carry. I must last hit." And by that time, you know, Vazzy's already away. So, it happens.
I think Navi are definitely not going to be happy with the start of the game. This is not looking good for them currently, because this Batrider will be a problem. And Nicky Cool, he's trying to force out his haste there, but the Bat is so powerful that you might not be able to slow down his snowball.
No, and Maladi again, the lead sheet coming through here from the Train Protector, going to keep him alive through these battery assaults and Hellscream. He just says every time he drops the cogs, if it's a 1 versus 1, he says, okay, but I've got that sustain coming through. I am literally leeching your life. It's what the spell does, and it just seems like the clockwork. He just gets punished every time he drops those cogs.
Well, he wasn't getting out of that one either way, so he'd rather just get smacked by the Treant than just be destroyed by 4 heroes surrounding him. But overall, yeah, Navi are pushed back. They need the level 6s on their supports, and that is really when they can start doing something. But when you start falling behind this much in the early game, it is a question, even if you get those level 6s, is it going to change much?
Yeah, and on the bottom lane now as well, Maladi going to be taking some harass. The cookie even came through there, but the clockwork, you know, level 5.5, it looks like he was able to just draw that aggro and take the punishment. Tier 1 tower does still stand as well, so he's going to be getting close to that level 6, and he does have that tower that can still stand underneath to soak the XP. Meanwhile, in the river on the mid lane, Sweden Strong, does he want to go for the last hero here in Malrine? No, there's going to be the drag back coming through with the glint, and it looks like Sweden Strong, he's not going to get out alive. Malrine going to be able to take him down, and now he gets the lasso off, drag back onto the Lesh. Lesh, can he get himself away from this? The cookie comes out, the X is done, and Vazia with a TP in, really nice scatter blast just to secure the kill.
And even Delina is poking there a bit because Navi knows that now currently they're missing out on the damage. That's gonna stop now once the Hoodwink gets level 6. But overall, the game is going horrendously for Navi. You can see that they are close to killing people, but they really don't have that catch.
Ooh,
and
the overgrowth on the bottom lane, it's going to be used to get the kill onto Maladi.
He doesn't stand a chance. They just want to push this bottom tower, because now for Nemiga, it's important to start opening up the map.
Yeah, you can see that Malrin, he's still going to be able to get those stacks off top of the net worth. And you look at the odds here, Navi, they need to be winning this, but EGB giving them 3.2 to 1 odds. And Nemiga, I mean, at long last, but they seem to be coming through at the favorites. So maybe a little bit too late here for Nemiga to keep themselves alive, but at least they could go out with at least a series win. You know, like you said, they've got that pride on the line. If nobody loses, it's a better look.
Yeah, people tend to always talk about, you know, money and first place and stuff like that. And no one tends to talk about how important it is for you to actually get that one win, to get a win, to not be the worst team. It really is the big thing. Nemiga are preparing for a defense in the top lane, though. It's not gonna come out before the tower dies.
No, but they might be able to make a move in here. Lays where those that last move's not available, so they're just going to be glimpsed back now though. Onto Nikki Cool with Reality Rift into the Chaos Ball. Bushwhack, he doesn't actually connect, and now Kiritich with that storm going. They do get the kill onto Mallory, but they take down Nikki Cool in return. Kiritich though, oh, Laguna Blade V-Tune, he committed, he got the kill. He was just going to stand and right click, and he take down the Chaos Knight. The hookshot comes through. He might not be done just yet. A bit of a Brucey bonus coming out onto the Disruptor, and V-Tune gets himself a double.
That was a very weird decision from Nemiga. So usually, okay, your tower is alive, you're stronger, and while the tower is alive, you can mount up a fight there if you have spells. They don't have their two big team fight spells in the Mortimer's Kisses and in the Overgrowth. Okay, doesn't matter, we're bringing the other heroes. But then the tower falls and you still go for a fight. You don't have any big item timings. The enemies are there in numbers and you're fighting in the part of the map that is not favorable for you. So overall, a very weird decision from Nemiga that's gonna cost them dearly. All their lead, it's not all gone, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and you can see that Kiritich has got that Invis rune, has the position 1, but he doesn't really have any items as the Chaos Knight just yet. And he's going to be able to find Sweden strong, but does he have the damage to take him down? Even with the Chaos Ball, I mean, the Mortimer Kisses are going to start to fly through as Lace, he just swerves that. He was coming through in the mid lane, though, to chase down. Do they want to go into Maldi? Because Maldi has that hook shot. So, Malrine, does he want to try and make that dive with the lasso onto the Clockwork? It looks like Clockwork. Well, even with the connected field, do they want to go? Fazzy might come in with the cookie. Even inside the cog, Scatterblast does come through, and they are going to group up, be able to take down Maldi. It's going to take him a little bit longer. No, he gets that hook shot off. The Flame Break comes back, though, and Vazzy does secure the kill eventually.
I saw that V-Tune was constantly being protected by Malady there, and he just bailed. He didn't even want to look at this tower. He didn't even want to look at his teammate. He just said, I am out. I need this BKB. Before I get it, I'm not a part of the fight. I can lose 10 towers if it's for my BKB. It doesn't really matter, of course. There's not that many on the map, really. But still, you don't want to lose your momentum now as Alina. And I understand that he just moves himself back.
Yeah, I mean, Lazy's waiting to come in. He's going to be spotted out by one of the creeps that came a little bit further forward. The hookshot's down, though, for the next 19 seconds. So not really going to be any plan for Navi to try and contest this tower push. Kiritich just goes for the TP away. And like you say, for Alina, V-Tune, he just wants to carry on going for the BKB. Still going to be about 900 gold away from picking it up, but that is going to be more important when these fights do start to break out, that V-Tune doesn't get stun locked and can put out the damage that the Lina is known for putting out.
Him and Malrine are gonna have a BKB at roughly the same time here, and I understand Navi not wanting to fight there. Your tower is low, it's dying either way. You lose one hero, there's gonna be a bonus with the glimpse as well, and suddenly you're giving the huge lead back to Nemiga. No reason to give them a kill, right? Because Nemiga's lineup, because of the glimpse, even the Batrider is very good at chasing, so you don't want to allow that to happen. Plus you don't have a hook shot, and you already talked about it in the draft. Fight for Navi needs to start with them going in and blowing up a hero. That is what you wanted. There's a big overgrowth waiting for you, and Nemiga drag out the fight without losing heroes. You're gonna start moving back, and that is where Nemiga are at the strongest.
Yeah, so you can see the V-Tune again, just continuing to farm, is going to have the recipe for the BKB. We saw that the Chaos Knight picked up the Echo Saber as well. Sweden Strong was close, but didn't go for the engage, and there is 3 heroes about, so V-Tune, he is going to be safe, but he's going to be underneath a ward. They know where he is if he looks to farm up this ancient stack, and they know that if they go on this bottom tower, or if you put aggression on the bottom lane here on the side of Nemiga, they're not going to be contested because V-Tune still doesn't want to come in just yet.
V-Tune does have the BKB now, so things do change. Hellscream. What does the Treant want? Okay, nothing. He's actually pretty poor. But how does he have 3.4k net worth? Like, what am I missing? It's only one being given to him.
7 assists.
I don't know, but he has boots, arcane boots, and they wand. How is that 3.4k?
That is true.
Like, I don't know. That is weird. That is very weird to me. Huh? Either way, Sweden Strong is caught in the bottom lane. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting onto this one.
Nope, he is going to be chased down. Static Storm used for that as well, so they do get the kill onto Sweden Strong. And yeah, you've just thrown me off with this net worth now. I need to know.
Oh, he has a shard. We are okay. He has a shard.
Right. He has a shard.
That's the answer. With the Treant, people do want to get it, especially against the Lina. You want to have multiple ways to have that BKB piercing disable, and I think that's the reason why you get it so early. If you can go in and out of trees and just continue putting it on him, you know, it can be quite effective in a fight.
Yeah, you can see that Malrine and Vazi rotate him now as well. Malrine, Flame Break comes out, but it pushes Nicky Cool in the opposite direction, so not going to be able to get close. I mean, I'm surprised the cookie didn't come through there from Vazi to maybe help out the Batrider to close the gap, get that lasso off, but I suppose underneath a tier 2 tower, you know, he's still only level 12, and the rotations could come in quick, and all of a sudden, that fight turns on its head, and you end up losing your life, even with a good engagement onto Nicky Cool.
The game has slowed down, and I'm pretty sure that Navi are happy with it. Nemiga's lineup is very good at going for those bonus kills. 16 kills at 17 minutes is nice, but the timing of those kills doesn't suit them. And they're gonna smoke just before the rocket hits, so this is a nice time. The rocket didn't see that one, but Malady is just in a perfect position this whole game.
Yeah, Malady, he is going to be able to see Malrine, comes in with the bash, still the cogs come out. He does have that Firefly though, so going to be able to fly over them. The hookshot, going to be able to get himself away. Malady, does he take down to this? The lasso comes up. Nicky Cool! Oh, Nicky Cool here. Static Storm as well as that connected field. Even the overgrowth going to be used so less. He's not going to be able to close the gap with the multiple kisses though. He's still going to be going that Bloodstone. It keeps him alive for a decent amount of time. But on the backlines, the fight does come through. They take down the Hoodwink, they take down the Clockwork as well. And now Lay's going to be slowed down. Even the Flame Break pushing him back into Kiritich. His waiting arms, his waiting sword. He waits for the kill and he gets it onto Lays.
Perfect for Nemiga. They get 4 kills. Very weird that Navi, after the death of the Clockwork, decided to offer up Nicky Cool there. I understand you have some big item timings, but it still doesn't change the fact that it wasn't you starting the fight. And it's, you know, it just goes to show that Navi do not talk before the game starts how you want to fight. And I think that's the key thing, because inside of a game, there's too much chaos. But if you say, if we lose a hero, we just go back. There is no way that we can do anything. We need to be the ones initiating, and then you get initiated on and you continue fighting. It wouldn't happen. So for me, it's showing that Navi, they haven't really talked about this, and I don't like it, because you need to do that to have successful team fights.
Yeah, and you can see I mean, look at this Hellscream. He's just waiting around this rune as well for it to be picked up by Kiritich. So the double damage rune does go the way of Kiritich. While Nicky Cool is just up on the top lane farming up, he couldn't even contest for the rune because he knows that the rest of the team, they still need the farm. They're still split up. They're still looking for items. So Nicky Cool going to be the furthest one forward. Going to be spotted here now as well by a set of wards, but no rotation coming in from the side of Nemiga. So at least this Leshrac, he is going to be able to get himself in some farm and out, looking towards that BKB, which he desperately needs even after the Bloodstone.
I'm surprised that Navi aren't trying to make any moves on the map. They're not that far behind. That their Lina is actually very strong. I guess you do want a higher BKB charge in the later portions of the game, but you're putting yourselves in a situation where it's Nemiga choosing every single fight, and they're not gonna choose the fights that don't benefit them. So finally, Navi go for a smoke. It seems like it was the Primal Beast BKB which they wanted to get.
Yeah, and that is going to be a good initiation, and they might even be able to bait up here. The hookshot comes through, though. They're going to be able to connect onto the tree. Malrine, does he want to come in? He's going to be able to get the lasso off onto the Primal Beast. The Mortimer Kiss is going to be dropping here now as well. And that's going to be the death of Mali. Sweden Strong goes down, and you can see the Primal Beast comes in with the BKB, but he's still trapped. Is he going to be able to get himself away? The cookie comes out. His BKB will be wearing off. They're even going to be able to get the drag back. Nicky Cool goes down, and now Lace, he has to try and run himself away, but he's going to be dragged back. He is going to be killed off.
That fight was over at the start of it. So what happened is Clockwork goes in, not on the target that he wanted. Immediately are taken aback by that one. The target that he wanted is the Batrider who pops the BKB and stops the onslaught. So the Primal Beast doesn't get into the backlines to control the enemies, and the Hoodwink gets caught. So you've lost your burst damage, your initiation didn't work out, and either two of those didn't work out, and immediately the fight is over. But still, it doesn't change the fact that they're going in again, Navi.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get the mega kill streak onto V-Tune here, picking up Vazia, and with Roche being so low, I mean, the Chaos Knight did have that double damage rune for the fight into the start of the Roche, but it does wear off, so the pace that Roche was being taken slows right down here, and with having such low respawn times on the side of Navi, Sweden Strong just able to get themselves in after the Rocket Flare comes out from Maldi. They see it, they drop the Bushwhack in the Roche pit, and they clean up onto the Snapfire. Multi-kisses are down, in fact, all the ultimates, apart from the Phantasm, down on the side of Nemiga. So Navi taking advantage of the fact.
Yeah, on the side of Navi, they have lower respawn times. On the side of Nemiga, they have their mid lane tower and the dire side early on for the Roche. So you really cannot commit for the Roche on either side, it seems, right now, unless you get a convincing fight.
Yep, Phantasm comes out, and the Clockwork going to be dragged right back in. He gets completely dismantled there by Kiritich.
Yeah, very nicely done. They're thinking of, do we go for more or do we go for Roche? And it seems like they want that bonus kill, and that is what their lineup is good as. I like this.
Yeah, the Bushwhack comes out, though. They might be able to get the kill onto Primal Beast. Primal going to get himself away, starts to Storm, but Nicky Cool, no, the drag back here on the lasso. They're going to be able to get the control off with a Pulverize on Lay's Hellscream. He's going to go down, but they might be able to get the kill. Will be able to get the kill onto Nicky Cool. And now Maldi dives in underneath the Tier 1 tower, though. Lays is going to go down. Maldi, even though it's their own Tier 1 tower, the most of the kisses are coming out. And Nemiga, they're finding these kills, even going to be able to get another kill onto the Clockwork, cleaning up yet again. Destroyed, dismantled, just absolute destruction coming out here from Nemiga.
They're not too deep when you're this far ahead. You can dive as much as you want. Lina, she can't get the hits in. Didn't want to pop that BKB. I'm not sure even if he had it at the start of that fight, because he used it for the Roche engagement where he killed Vazia. And finally, that is a convincing fight with which you take Roche. If Nemiga were just to go into the Roche pit, it probably wouldn't have worked out, because Navi would poke, and maybe find the right initiation, especially against the Clockwork. But after this kind of a fight, it's over.
You can see Nemiga having fun with it there as well. You know, they've got the dancing rabbit or whatever that emote is on the well played. Vazia threw the cookie onto Mari just to throw him outside of the pit because he wasn't facing the proper direction. So at least Nemiga coming into this final series, they're having a little bit of fun. They're having a laugh about it.
I'm looking at it and like, why is Rob laughing? Yeah, the dancing rabbit really is pretty cool. I didn't know that was in the game, but you know, you find something new every day. Either way, Nemiga in a very good position in this game now. Currently, they're the ones that are dictating the tempo. They're the ones that are choosing when the fights will happen, and I really like how they itemized, especially the Blink Dagger on the CK. They don't want the Batrider to initiate. They don't want to put the Bat in a bad situation. They want the CK up front, and then the Bat is gonna find the right time to go in, because it's not that important for them to burst down the target. They just need to not die themselves and keep the fight going.
Yeah, you can see that Malrin, he's going towards that Octarine core, so he's going to have that cooldown coming through on this as well. So even more sticky napalms to be spammed out. The lasso obviously on a short cooldown as well, but just the amount of lethality you have in your non-ultimate kit around these fights that you can spam out, because you do have a decent mana pool. I mean, sticky napalm, it's 20 mana per use, so being able to get those out quicker and quicker and quicker between the BKBs on the side of Navi, the damage that will come through from this bat will just stack up more and more and more as he's able to spam these spells out.
This is very slow coming out from Navi. Nemiga should know that this is coming. They've already taken down a tower, taken the outpost, and no one has shown this. You're not catching anyone with this smoke. Plus, look at the lanes. I mean, Navi are Navi have pretty much told Nemiga, hey guys, we're in a smoke, and that's not what you want to do when you're hunting.
Yeah, the Rocket Flare, it's going to be coming out a little bit short there as well. You can see the Disruptor was just moving himself away, going towards the Axe now on the Disruptor as well. That's going to be really nice for him. Around, even through the BKBs, you'll be able to stop if you can catch the Lina out and just shut her completely down. She does have the Satanic now, which is nice, but if you can stop her entire kit from coming off, what does this Lina really do? You've even got the Chaos Knight going towards the Skadi as well. So he's aware that the Lina will be going towards that, the Satanic and the Skadi. A really nice answer from the Chaos Knight to deal with it.
Currently, it's just about shutting down the Lina. Every other hero on the side of Navi is not going to be able to do much. It's this Lina that you have to deal with, so you itemize against her.
The drag back. LSA is going to connect here onto, but there's still going to be the Aegis onto the Seakai, so they can carry on going. He does use the BKB. They get the kill onto the Lina. Lina's gone, and this is going to be Nikki Cool now. Nikki Cool, what's he going to be able to do? Because the physical damage from Kiritich, it's going to stack up, and he doesn't even have the BKB anyway, so the control from Nemiga, they just clean up Navi again.
It's just so easy right now for them. Navi's lineup reliant on bursting someone down. Nemiga are so strong that none of their heroes can be bursted down. And Kiritich even has the Aegis. They can't kill him once, let alone twice. He just jumps in and the fight is over. The second he jumps in and he catches onto someone, it means that Navi are going to be losing multiple heroes.
Yeah, and I think this is showing that Lina is obviously underpowered, and Ice Frog is definitely going to buffer up in that next patch.
Yes, her Fiery Soul should give 500 attack speed for sure. Like you just use, and it should have one stack that immediately does it, and then you just use it onto a creep, and suddenly you're attacking like a Wind Ranger in her ulti without any of the downsides.
Yeah, and guys, you saw the odds on the screen there as well. Navi nearly 9-1 to win this one here. Nemiga coming through for EGB as the clear favorites into this, at least for the first map. You know, the series is still up in the air because this could go to all three, but with a 13k net worth lead and 32 kills over 8, Nemiga just securely in the driving seat here in this game number 1.
Yep, they are. They're the ones that are making everything happen, really. Navi, they still have this potential with the sharpshooter to blow someone up, but I don't know if you can blow up any of the important heroes. Maybe you can start it off by killing a support, like so bad right now.
Yeah, there is going to be the dive in, but Lays follows up. Can they get the kill into the Disruptor? Force Staff comes out for him, and he's still going to be able to go. Static Storm Connected Field comes out over the cogs. They're going to be able to get the kill, maybe onto Sobat. He will go down. Aegis gets popped there as well. Kiritich, he comes in with the BKB, and now they get the drag back V-Tune. He has that BKB. It's only about halfway through, so he's going to be able to get it off in Sweden Strong. He's going to be some roast squirrel on the back lines. Can they carry on going? Now that the BKBs are down, Malady will drop. And it looks like Nemiga, they might come even further forward here, even though their BKBs have been used. It looks like, even though the ultimates have been used, it looks like they want to be putting pressure onto this tier 2 tower in the mid lane.
Night and day difference when it is Navi initiating.
They're even going to be able to get the catch onto Nikki Cool, and Nikki Cool is just gone. Lays, he comes in. Is this a saving Private Ryan Syndrome in? Coming in, yeah, Lays gets dragged back. Do they have that Chaos Pull? It will connect. They're going to be able to get the stun onto the Primal Beast. LSA comes over the top. Is it going to be enough though? Yeah, the Laguna Blade comes out with a really nice pushback. The Overgrowth is going to be used, so Sharpshooter misses, and Lays at least will get out alive. Yeah, he's going to get out alive. Chase is on LSA. Cookie comes out from Vazia, so the LSA won't connect.
Vazia is turning around. Navi have gone way too far.
They get the kill onto Sweden Strong now as well, and B-Tune hookshot comes in on the back lines, and B-Tune, does he want to carry on going? He doesn't have the BKB, he doesn't have the Satanic, he doesn't have his life, and now Malady, he's going to go down next, and again, one by one, the side of Navi fall.
Yeah, Vazia showing that he can have the max attack speed as well, you know. So that is he's gonna be shooting down the Lina quite easily. This is the thing, that Navi are so weak that they can't go forward. You, in these situations, you feel like you need to get that extra kill. You need to go forward. You need to use the situation because you might not get another one. And there's always gonna be a point, a line that if you cross, there's gonna be a turnaround where you just die. And it was not that far away from the base of Navi, where Nemiga could stop, stand their ground, and just crush them, even with the buyback that came out from Navi.
Yeah, and you can see that the buildings are just absolutely crumbling under the illusions of the Chaos Knight. You know, he didn't even have the Skadi in this fight, and the amount of damage he did, the amount of survivability sustain he had, he just ripped through them. Yes, okay, the Aegis got used, but Chaos Knight, I mean, that's a trade you want all day. The Roche won't be back for at least a minute and a half here, so Nemiga, they can back themselves away. Oh, Nikki Cool, come on, man. He's going to be seen underneath the ward now as well, so Nikki, he needs to get himself back because Nemiga were making a beeline towards that top lane.
And with the bottom lane being the Raxes that you took, that's the furthest from the Roche that you have to defend. So it's going to be very tough for Navi to defend the Roche, even if it does come to it. You know, Nemiga might end this game before it. But when the bottom lane gets taken and you're the Radiant side, even the Dire side, it's the biggest line towards the Roche, and you always have to have someone there, or your base is slowly going to be in shambles, or at least the enemies are going to know exactly where you are or if you are coming.
Yeah, and it looks like Navi want to go for a smoke. Wasn't under vision on the side of Nemiga,
Radiant
so they are going to be able to get a surprise off. But what can they do with this here? Lays, he wants to try and make that jump in. Well, the Dragon Slave comes out, and Vice is going to be close, so they know now roughly where at least the Lina is. And nobody's going to jump for this. They might try and engage with a hook shot, follow up with Lays, but Nemiga, they know something's up, and they're just going to be hanging around as 5 heroes saying, okay, if you want to smoke up, where's 5? You know, you can take this team fight if you want. And now Nemiga, they're going to be the ones going for the smoke.
One thing I don't like for Nemiga is that they don't have the buybacks ready. If you have the buybacks ready at this point, they're not going to cost you too much. You know that you're not going to be losing the game. Even if the fights start going south, you get the buybacks, you kill them, and you get the Roche. But overall, this is the downside of not taking the mid-tier 130 minutes into the game. Nemiga can just stay out on the map, basically, and next to their tower. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't really go that deep, considering that you're 20k behind.
No, and Rocket Flirt comes out again just to try and push this mid lane out. But with the cookie coming through with the flame break now, it looks like Nemiga, they want to be stepping up, maybe getting aggressive onto the tier 3, maybe just forcing some TPs back, because you can see that the bottom lane is pushing in now as well. So Navi, they need to deal with their base, and these TPs coming out, the re-rotation out for Navi, this is going to be the perfect time for Nemiga. Roche is up in the next 25 seconds.
This is just the waiting game for them. You push in the mid lane, you know that the bottom lane is pushing in, and as soon as you see a TP, you overtake the triangle, and now you even get a kill in the clock.
Yeah, he's going to be going down? Question mark. Malady? He doesn't get himself away from this. He's already used his TP. So yeah, it was only a matter of time. And they've got the Ultimate Kisses being dropped here. Nicky Cool, he's got that fresh BKB. That's going to be coming off, but it is going to be most of the way through. And now he's going to be caught in the static don't connect. Field comes out as well. Cookie V2 though, he is going to be able to use his BKB. Lays, can he get himself away? The buyback from the clockwork. Maybe tries to get himself in. Or is that hook shot? Does he find the angle for it? He's waiting. But Lays, he just has to get himself away with the onslaught.
One interesting thing with the interaction of the disruptor and the CK, once the CK gets his shard, you get the glimpse out of that one, because you're gonna be giving vision as well. So that's gonna be quite nice for Nemiga. That was a bonus kill if the CK had his shard delivered. But did he change his mind? Yeah, he changed his mind. He doesn't want it. He's gonna get it from Roche, I guess.
Yeah, true. I mean, it is going to be coming out literally now, and we can see that Hellscream, Vazia already have those. But Disruptor, I don't usually see the shard coming out as a priority for the Disruptor, so yeah, more than likely will be Kiritich here. But Na'Vi want to fight.
If Malrine had like the Witchblade build, maybe you would see it from the bat with this one. That's it's gonna be a CK 100%.
Yeah, and Nicky Cool's going to be catching up. Doesn't have that BKB for 13 seconds. How quickly can they get in here? Smoke comes out. Roche, he's about 2/3 of the way down here. And Navi, they have to go. The Lina wasn't close, though. Lina has to catch up with the Shadow Blade, trying to close that gap. Did he get the jump in? You can see that Malrine, he's just trying to play body blockers to make sure no hook comes through. And Roche, he's out, but it looks like they want to try and make a fight happen here, because the BKB, it already comes out from Malrine. Kiritich is going to be able to get the jump up now as well. Lays pops his own BKB, but the lasso is going to be there. And they just keep him locked down while all these Phantasm illusions are going to be doing so much damage. Hookshot comes through onto the real CK here. Lays, what can he do? The Pulverize. This is going to be really nice with Nicky Cool chasing down with the Pulse Nova, but the damage comes through. Again, the Overgrowth comes out, and Kiritich is going to be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, V-Tune gets the kill onto Sobad, using that Laguna Blade here. Nicky Cool, can he get himself away? The BKB will be off, and it looks like they might be able to get the drag back. Yeah, they do get the kill, and Nicky Cool's going to go down. And now V-Tune, the chase is on, but Navi, can they get something from this? Because the spells, the BKBs have already been used, and now the Ultimate Kiss is going to be flying through. Sweden Strong, he's going to be a cooked squirrel once again. The drag back onto Malady, and Navi, they might be a full team right out here. Yeah, they get the control coming through. Lazy wants to get back into this, but they have the kill onto the Lina, and now the chase, but it's going to be Lazy with the blink away. He does get himself out of danger for now. What's he going to be able to do? There's no onslaught for the next 6 seconds. Kiritich just gets himself in. GG, it's going to be cold.
Navi knew we fight now or never. The Phantasm of the CK just expired in that fight, and they got themselves into an actually solid position on Navi with the Lina. He killed the Disruptor, and he started moving forward. So like, we have 20 seconds to fight right now, and that's why you overextend. We've seen it multiple times in this game. Navi, they were passive in the early stages of the game, and then later on, when they see that there might be a chance for them to win the fight, they overextend. And Nemiga, at some point, they turn it around. But that cookie, it was just beautiful. You know, Kiritich is stuck in the cogs. You think, okay, now I can rip him apart as Alina, and suddenly he's right on top of you, and your BKB is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and looking at the scoreboard as well, you can see that Kiritich 18-1 to VTune 7 and 3. So Kiritich having a much better time coming into this first game. Vazia looked, apart from the first blood, you know, he only died twice, and one of those was the first blood, not the first one, excuse me, the first kill in the for the side of Navi on the bottom lane. And apart from that, looked pretty much untouchable. And on the side of Navi, you can see that Lays, he didn't really have any impact. You know, 0, 7, and 4. Nicky Cool 1 and 12. Again, VTune 7 and 3. What went wrong here for Navi?
Oh man, a lot of things went wrong. I think the main thing is your Lash, who should go neck and neck with the Bat, lost his lane. Then you have to put resources in that lane to keep him alive. He still continues dying, and then that creates everything. Lina is left alone. The Primal Beast is left alone. You know that you need to keep the Bat down, and you're not doing it. And suddenly the whole map is open, right? And when you have Nemiga with the lineup that pretty much thrives on getting the first kill and then getting the bonuses, you should expect that you're gonna die over and over again on the map. But even with that being said, in my mind, Navi are still way too passive, but considering how they've been playing, this has been their style of gameplay for the entirety of the DPC.
Yeah, and Nemiga looking good, looking to take their first series. Again, a little bit too late for them to be able to make a bid for survival, but it is the pride on the line here for Nemiga. So they're going to be coming into the second game. Again, heads held high, and with no real worries, no real threat. So they have that ability to say, okay, we're going to play as carefree as we need to in the second game, maybe take the series 2-0.
Yeah, I think Nemiga's playstyle is like an Achilles heel to Navi, right? Some other teams, they adjust to playing more aggressively against Navi, and if you go against them in the late game, it's somewhat even. Navi are okay, right? But Nemiga, they always try to get that early aggression on, and Navi, with their passiveness, they're always going to be on the back foot.
Yeah, but guys, that is only game number 1. We do have at least one more game in the series to come. But first, we are going to be taking a quick break, so we'll see you right after this.